So, I was meant to have a service tonight on a Volkswagen Tiguan. However, my wife's car has other plans for me. So, as you can see, the clutch pedal's got this weird thing where it sort of sticks. It doesn't look too bad at the minute, but it tends to stick halfway down or stick at the floor, which is normally and hopefully a master cylinder in my case, but it looks like a massive ball ache to get to it. It looks like I've got to take all this panel and everything off with this airbag in. I did have a quick look and all that looked all right, the helper spring and stuff, so I've got to get the whole clutch pedal assembly out, take the hydraulics off on the other side, on the engine bay side, and I'll get it out, and then we'll strip it down and I'll show you how it works. So, quick update on getting the clutch pedal out on this, well, my Land Rover Discovery Sport. So, you've got to take half of this shit out, just so you can get to the clutch pedal assembly up there. I think there's 3 or 4 bolts hold it in, looking at the parts diagram. So that's where I'm at the minute. So, I have found what has broken on the master cylinder. I've got the torch on the phone, so I don't know if you can see, but that little, this bit here, if you see, there's like a rod that goes into the master cylinder there. If you look, it's, if I can focus, see how it's sort of, there's something broken on the inside of there where it's sort of jumping up and down. So that's where we're getting our problem. Now, if you look at the new one, what you can see is this sort of there we go. You got this sort of like a locking collar type thing, and it looks like that has come off on the inside. So that's why this is springing it back out far too much and giving me that weird double clunky pedal. So I'll show you again. I might be able to get my hand up there. Hang on. Okay. See? Shouldn't rattle around in there like that. So I've got half of the dashboard out of the car just to get to one screw to get the knee airbag off, which is what sits here. Now what I need to do is disconnect the hydraulics from on the engine side. So I need to go underneath and have a look where they disconnect, and then I'll get the clutch pedal out complete, and I can show you a bit better then what the difference is between the failed unit and the good one. Right, I'll just show you where the clutch master cylinder is under the bonnet. So you got to take this scuttle panel out, and then down there, you can see it, is this thing here. So I've taken off an electrical plug. There's 2 hydraulic lines, there's a high pressure, and then there's the one that feeds in from here, from the brake master cylinder. So yeah, I've got to get them out, and then I can unbolt the clutch pedal. It all comes out with one assembly, and then you build it up on the bench and then put it back in, plug everything back in, bleed it up, and away you go, so they say. Right, I've got the clutch assembly out now. So what you can see actually is that bit has actually snapped. You compare that to the new one, where the rod is. Obviously it's designed to pivot. If you look at that one, get it? You can see it's actually broken off inside. Now to get these cylinders out, all you do, twist, I'll show you again. So they twist into the clutch pedal like that. As you can see, the rod has stayed where it is. Half of the ball and socket is still in there. So it wasn't quite as easy getting out as a complete unit. I had to sort of get the clutch pedal out part way and then squeeze my arm in to twist the old one out. So for the purpose of the video, I put that back in there just to show you. And then the bit that actually releases, I've got it part way out there to where the rod is. There's a little pin, little plastic pin there. Just got to be careful you don't break it. The ends need squeezing in. I can push that out and I can get that rod out, and then hopefully get the new one in soon. I did think originally it was something to do with this spring, but no, the camera won't focus. But no, that's it now. So hopefully that'll be the end of this weird clutch pedal problem we've been having. Right, so I'm going to explain a bit more about the actual original fault that I had. It was hard to see before, but what happened was, so that's the new clutch master cylinder in. There's the rod that lines up with this hole here. So what happened, I'd have this weird sort of like where the clutch pedal would either stick down or have this weird sort of pop and spring back up after you've taken your foot off the clutch. You know, it's really irritating. Now if you look here, so this clutch master cylinder only comes out this far, this rod. So the pin, where is it? So that pin there goes in and secures that to that. Now because the other one was snapped, as you can see, this spring was pushing this clutch pedal too far back. So obviously see how that's not lined up. So once the new pin is in there, this clutch pedal, this won't be able to spring back up because it's going to all be connected straight through to the master cylinder. I'm a little bit disappointed though that the new ones, you know, they're made of plastic. They're a bit shit, to be honest. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's other people out there with Discovery Sports that have had this weird clutch pop problem. We had no issues engaging the clutch because when you put your foot down, the rod would obviously push in and the clutch would disengage, but it had this really bizarre popping back up higher than it should do, and it was all down to that being snapped, and then obviously coming back further than it's designed to because of this helper spring. So I'm going to get this back together now. I'll get the wife to help me bleed it, hopefully before Love Island is on, and that's it. Hopefully that explains the issue and shows you how to, you know, how the master cylinder and whatever works on it.